Episode 4, First Session. Lost in her thoughts, she barely noticed the drive. Before long, she was pulling into the restaurant. The restaurant was one of those dimly lit, wood-paneled steakhouses, with jazz playing too softly to make a difference. Malik stood when she arrived, buttoning his blazer and smiling like the cameras were already rolling. "You look beautiful," he said, pulling out her chair. "Thanks." They sat across from each other, menus in hand but already closed. "I ordered us the seafood tower," he said, lifting his water glass. "And I asked for a quiet booth. I know you don't love crowds after Sundays." She gave a tight smile. Thoughtful. He leaned back. "So how have you been, besides busy saving souls and dodging texts?" Elise raised an eyebrow. Subtle. "I figured I'd ease into the guilt trip," she smirked. "You could just say you missed me." "I could," he said. "But that implies you missed me too." The waiter arrived. They placed orders. Small talk slipped between bites of oysters and sourdough, but the silence between questions was louder than the answers. "You know," Malik said, swirling his drink, "my mom saw your sermon replay. Said you looked like a queen up there. Told me I'd be a fool to let you go." Elise set her fork down. "Am I something to be let go of, Malik? Or are you just here playing First Gentleman auditions?" He tilted his head. "Why do you always assume the worst?" "Because everyone around me treats me like a strategy, a political chess piece, a pulpit with heels." His smile faltered, just slightly. "I don't see you like that." "No?" she asked, tone flat. "Then what are we doing here?" Malik didn't answer. Their entrees came. She pushed food around her plate more than she ate it. He filled the silence with updates on campaign fundraisers and media interviews, and which pastors endorsed his last panel. She nodded, smiled at the right times, but her mind kept wandering. The candlelight flickered against the edge of her phone screen. A notification appeared. Appointment confirmed. Amara Brooks, LCSW. Wednesday, 11 a.m. Elise turned the phone over. "Everything okay?" Malik asked. "Yeah," she said, "just confirming something." He leaned forward, studying her. "So what are we, Elise?" She sipped her water. "We're here. That's what we are," he chuckled. Still dancing, still pretending. He watched her for a long beat. "Well," he said finally, "if this is pretending, you wear it well." "Thanks," she replied, voice low. The check came. He paid. They stood in silence outside the restaurant. "Want to ride together next time?" he asked. "We'll see." He leaned in to kiss her cheek. She let him. Then she stepped back. "Good night, Malik." "Good night, Elise." She walked to her car, heels clicking like punctuation marks in a sentence she didn't want to finish. Inside, she sat for a moment, unbuckled, closed her eyes. Her phone buzzed once more. Therapy intake form link. Please complete before first session. She tapped the link, then shut the screen off again. Not yet, but soon. The cursor blinked at her like it was waiting for a confession. Elise stared at the half-typed sermon title on her laptop. What are you really thirsty for? She'd gotten the inspiration while reading through John 4, the woman at the well, drawing water but needing more. It felt right, timely, safe. Her fingers hovered over the keys, but nothing came. Ping. She glanced at her phone. "So I heard you were out with Malik. That a thing now? Or just church optics? And don't lie. You won't find better than what we had." Julian. She sucked her teeth and set the phone down, but her mind had already gone there. Flashback. It had been one of those nights after a revival, high from the spirit, low from the silence that always followed. Julian had shown up unannounced. Dinner, laughter, just to check on her. They ended up in the back of a car, again. His shirt had come off quickly, too quickly. He always moved like he was performing for someone who wasn't her. Yes, he was fine, undeniably. Face, frame, fade, polished like a billboard. First-round pick for church girls with marriage goals. But beneath his garments, nothing to hold her interest. Too soft where she needed pressure. Too eager where she needed patience. Too loud when silence would have been stellar. He whispered her name like he was reciting it, not tasting it. She needed him to taste it. And she laid there, letting him finish, already feeling the regret settle between them. She blinked herself back to the present. The cursor still blinked. The sermon was still empty, and she was still unsatisfied. She reached for her phone and dialed her parents' house. Her father answered on the second ring. "Hey, superstar." His voice still made her smile. "Just checking on you before I head out," she said. "You eat anything yet?" "Your mother's fussing at me about it now." In the background, Geneva's voice carried, "Ask her if she booked with Amara yet." Elise sighed, phone still at her ear. "Yes, Mama, I did." "You sure?" "Yes," she repeated, gathering her purse. "In fact, I need to get off the phone or I'll be late." "Good," Geneva replied. "She's excellent. You'll thank me later." Elise didn't respond. The office was tucked into a historic building off of a quiet downtown street. Nothing loud or overly branded, just a black door, frosted windows, and a plaque that read, Amara Brooks, LCSW. Trauma-Informed Therapy and Inner Work Coaching. Elise stood at the door for a long breath, then opened it. Inside, the lighting was low, and the space smelled like bergamot and sandalwood. A simple wooden sign read, "Come as you are, leave lighter." She inhaled, then she walked in. The waiting room was warm, earth tones, textured pillows, soft instrumental music humming just above silence, 2 armchairs, a round coffee table with curated magazines on healing, relationships, and faith. A shelf in the corner held poetry anthologies and slim books on grief and shadow work. Elise glanced at a framed quote on the wall behind the front desk. "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Rumi. She took a slow breath and sat down. She didn't look at her phone. She didn't need distractions, just answers, or quiet, or something in between. She crossed her legs, then uncrossed them, smoothed her dress, checked her posture, swallowed a tightness in her throat that hadn't been there 5 minutes ago. What if her mother had told this woman everything already? What if she cried? What if she didn't? The door to the back office opened. Elise stood instinctively. A tall, brown-skinned woman with dark locks, gathered into a high, loose bun, stepped into view. She wore high-waisted wide leg pants, a fitted black blouse, and no shoes. Her presence was grounded, present. She smiled, not too big, just enough to say, "You're safe here." "Elise?" the woman asked, voice calm but certain. "Yes, I'm Amara, come on back." Amara led the way into her office, warm, minimal, grounded, no sharp edges. No fluorescent lights, just tall plants, a woven rug, shelves lined with slim books and taper candles. The windows were open just enough to let in real air. The couch was velvet, no desk between them. Elise didn't sit immediately. She walked halfway into the room, eyes sweeping across the space like she was searching for something. "You're safe here," Amara said, closing the door behind them. No expectations, no judgment, just the truth, whatever version of it you're ready to bring. Elise gave a polite smile and took a seat. Amara sat across from her, notepad resting on her lap, one leg crossed over the other. Her presence was soft, not timid, strong, not controlling. She didn't try to fill the silence. Elise's phone buzzed quietly in her lap. She glanced down, expecting something mindless. Text from Geneva M. "Hey, sweetheart. Bishop Carter's in town. His voice is gone and he asked your dad to fill in tonight. Daddy's not up to it. I told them you'd stand in." A second text followed immediately. 7 p.m. Full crowd expected. Be excellent. Elise locked the screen and let the phone rest face down. She cleared her throat. "My mother referred me. She said you were the best." "She used to say that to me too," Amara smiled. "Back when she was mentoring me. I was honored when she passed the practice on." "She probably told you everything already." Amara shook her head. "She didn't tell me anything. I have a policy. No details about referrals. You start where you want to start." Elise hesitated, then folded her hands in her lap. "I'm just tired. It's like I'm doing everything right and somehow still failing. Everyone's watching. Everyone's waiting. There's always a schedule, always a camera, always a meeting I can't be late for, a prayer I can't skip, a smile I have to wear." Amara nodded. "What happens if you don't smile?" Elise blinked. "I have to," she said. "People draw strength from me." "And what do you draw from?" The silence that followed wasn't cold. It was weighty. "I don't know," Elise said softly. Amara leaned forward just a bit. "That's a good place to start. I feel like I'm performing all the time. I don't even know if the things I say in the pulpit belong to me anymore, or if they're just recycled lines that sound holy enough to keep people clapping." "Do you feel seen in the pulpit?" "No. I feel expected." They sat in that word for a moment. Elise inhaled deeply, her eyes fixed on the floor. "My father's dying, slowly. Every time I look at him, I see the man who built the thing that's burying me." Amara didn't react. She just listened. "And my mother," Elise continued, "she's so proud of me. But only if I'm producing. Only if I'm polished. The moment I hesitate, she turns into a project manager. Fixes me. Repositions me. Reminds me of the image I'm required to uphold." "That's a lot to carry," Amara responded. "No," Amara said gently. "I don't mean it like a figure of speech. I mean it's a lot to carry. I'm not surprised you're tired. You sound like someone carrying everyone's salvation and none of your own." Elise didn't reply. Her eyes brimmed slightly, but she didn't let the tears fall. She looked away, then back. "I don't even know what I came here to say." Amara smiled again. "You said it." The silence after that felt earned. Elise glanced at the time and sighed. "I hate to cut this short," she said, "but I just got a text. I've been asked to preach tonight. One of my dad's old pastor friends. Revival service. My mom says it's important." Amara nodded. "Of course, I get it." "I'll book another session," Elise added quickly, almost defensively. "This is necessary. I can feel that." "Same time next week?" Elise hesitated, then nodded. "Yeah, same time." She stood, gathered her things with practiced grace, and offered a small smile. "Thank you." Amara stood too. "You're welcome." Elise stepped into the hallway, the bell over the office door chiming as it closed behind her. Outside, the day hadn't changed, but something inside her had. You've just listened to episode 4 of The Bishop's Daughter by Lee Franklin. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue bringing these stories to life. We'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. for episode 5. Until then, keep listening, keep feeling, and keep imagining.